Another trooper is added to the Imperial lines, so let's check him out. Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna take a look at Star Wars The Black Series Imperial Armored Commando from the Mandalorian series. It's a new trooper design and for some reason I like all different troopers in this line. I like to have at least one of each, if not two, just to represent each design and different eras in my collection. I like to see that evolution of trooper armor from clones to stormtroopers and then to the First Order troopers. And this guy represents one of those transitions. As always, first a quick look at the box. It's a new style packaging without the angled side. We have a window showing the figure with its accessories. This guy is number 42 in the Mandalorian lineup. Isn't it crazy that we have 42 figures from a relatively new show, but at the same time we have Palpatine coming out as the first figure from Revenge of the Sith? To me, that's really strange. Here is the side art that I always like to see. Back of the box uses the same illustration with a short bio, nothing special on the other side or on the top, legalese at the bottom. So now, let's open up the box and let's take a look at the figure. Here is Imperial Armored Commando out of the box, and as my first impression, I like the overall look of the figure. The light grey and white combination of the armor and suit underneath is an interesting step away from the white and black that we usually see on standard troopers. I would prefer maybe a little bit of wash on the undersuit just to make the sculpted details like wrinkles pop out a bit more, but unfortunately we didn't get that. But in terms of proportions, there is one obvious issue here, and that is the size of the helmet. It is just too small in comparison to the rest of the body. Just imagine how small the head should be to fit inside. Of course, the head is not inside, and that's too bad because if it was, we wouldn't have this problem. So the size of the helmet is something that keeps me from fully enjoying the overall look of this figure because I feel like it's really noticeable. We will compare him to some other troopers in a bit, but first, let's take a closer look at the details. Here is a closer look at the helmet. The sculpt is good, I have no problem with that. The design is interesting, but as I said, the size is what bothers me. The visor looks good, but the line above it is crooked. See how it's thicker here? And then it becomes thinner on the other side. So that's an unfortunate mistake. These vents are really nicely sculpted. All around the design is good, but I don't know how they missed the proportions. Chest armor is an overlay piece made out of softer plastic. These details on the chest are well sculpted and painted. On the shoulders we have a kind of asymmetry going on, with this piece being here and missing from the other shoulder. Arms look good. I like these sculpted and painted details on both arms. A lot of nicely sculpted wrinkles. Gauntlets that look like Mandalorian gauntlets. Here is the iconic rocket and here is the other one. This belly armor has a different lighter shade of gray than the rest of the undersuit. The belt is simple and we have a working holster connected to it. Legs also look good. These thigh armor plates are painted white. He has knee pads and then shin armor around the boots. Everything is nicely sculpted, but as I already said, the helmet is too small and I would love to see a little bit of weathering on the undersuit. Before we move forward, let me just make a quick comparison with two previous troopers that I feel influenced the design of this new one. First, we have Imperial Patrol Trooper from Solo movie. Here it looks like the overall look is similar. It's kind of the same idea with the undersuit being more exposed than on a standard Stormtrooper, but of course the details are different. And another one that I wanted to compare is a Death Trooper whose helmet looks like a stage before this one, especially the front part from the nose down to the chin. So as I said, I love the progression, the evolution of trooper design. Let's now take a look at his accessories. This guy comes with 3 accessories, so one more than Ahsoka. He comes with a smaller pistol that is fully black, except this small silver detail here. He can hold it in hand, or we can put it in a holster and close it like this. He comes with his rifle that is also fully black, except for these 2 silver painted details. And he can hold it in both hands without any issues. And finally, he comes with his jetpack that is nice nicely sculpted, and I like that on it we have black, white and gray parts that represent the colors that we have on the figure. And this is how the inner side looks, and to connect it to the figure we align it and just plug it in like this. It's a tight fit, so it won't fall off easily. The one issue that I have with the jetpack is the fact that they didn't make deeper holes in these thrusters, so it will be difficult to plug in any type of previously released jetpack effects. That's a shame. Now, because in the show we saw Mando using this jetpack, I want to see if it fits to him. This is the Black Series Ringworld Mandalorian. Here are his ports on the back. Yes! It fits perfectly. Another tight fit, doesn't fall off. You can see when I hold it like this. It's great that they made it compatible with this Mando. Let's now take a look at his articulation. The head and the neck give you some nice range of movement. He can look down this much, up just slightly, tilt side to side, rotate. There is a limited butterfly joint. Arms rotate 360. This is a soft rubbery piece, so it gets out of the way. No bicep swivel, but we have a swivel in the elbow, single bend in the elbow, a swivel in the wrists, and the up and down hinge on both hands. We have only one cut in the torso up here, nothing down here. So up here is where you'll get your side to side rotation, tilt. He can crunch forward this much, back only slightly, legs move out this much, no tie cut, but we do get a little bit of swivel. Legs kick forward this much, back this much. We have swivel in the knees, knees bend this much, ankles move forward only slightly. Back is much better. We have a generous ankle pivot and pec holes at the bottom of his feet. Now let's compare our Commando here with some other figures. Here he is next to the Black Series Imperial Patrol Trooper from Solo and the Black Series Death Trooper from Rogue One. Here is how he scales with the Black Series Imperial Stormtrooper and First Order Stormtrooper. Here he is next to the Black Series Moff Gideon and new Black Series Ahsoka Paridia version. Here is how he scales with the Black Series Glavis Ringworld Mando and the newest Mafex Mandalorian. Here he is next to the Black Series and Mafex Bo-Katan. Here is how he scales with both Mafex and Figure Arts Ahsoka. And here he is next to the SH Figure Arts Anakin and Mafex Grogu. So that was my look at the Black Series Imperial Armored Commando from The Mandalorian. Do I recommend this figure? I mean, if you are a Star Wars fan and a Black Series collector, I assume you are into Star Wars troopers as well. This is not an essential character, but I would recommend you getting at least one just to have this trooper design represented in your collection. If you want to army build these guys, that is perfectly fine. You can put them next to Moff Gideon or recreate that final battle from the third season. Overall, I like everything on this figure except the helmet proportions. Most of the time Hasbro does a good job with proportions in this line, but sometimes, for whatever reason, something like this happens. I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as Balin and Shin height issues, but it's still noticeable. Other than that, it's a really good figure, a great addition to the trooper lineup, and I'm glad that I got at least one of these guys. But those were just my thoughts, and now I would love to hear yours. What do you guys think about this figure? Did you get it or not? Do you plan on army building these troopers? What do you think about the helmet size? Am I being overcritical or do you share my criticism? Let me know all of that down in the comments. Stay tuned for a posing video for this guy, and as always, a special shout out goes to my Patreon supporters for helping me to keep the channel alive. Everything earned over there goes into the channel's content, so thank you. If anyone else can join us, please do so. Your help will be truly appreciated. And if not, I understand that. You are still helping simply by watching and sharing my videos, so thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next video.